Hi teachers, how was the day? You must have finished the portion and a lot of revisions must be happening. A lot of kids bunk school now at this point of time. Very few kids sometimes attend school a month and a half before the 10th standard exams. A lot of parents might be eating your head, asking you difficult queries, but I am so happy that most of our teachers are composed, calm and provide a lot of solace to children and their families. When you find a student asking you a basic concept which you may have taught a million times, please don't think he is not attentive. Please don't think he has not worked hard. Just believe that he is tense and he wants clarification, confirmation and reassurance. When the child approaches you for a difficulty, it's not the difficulty alone, it's the few words of confidence, of helping them feel that they can cross the bridge is what they are looking for. Your smile makes a big difference. Your pat on the back is a million times more powerful than the pat on the back from the parents and the neighbors. Sometimes some kids may have not studied at all across the year. Don't leave them. They need you now. Help them to understand that they can actually study now and give the 10th. They might not get a dream grade, but they will get an enough grade to cross the bridge and do extremely well in life. Teachers who are over involved with the children and are very accessible sometimes are made fun of by other teachers. Don't bother. The smile on the child's face is the most powerful incentive, much more than your 6th pay commission or your 7th pay commission salary. Children who love the teachers, love them because the teachers have been compassionate. They have walked that extra mile. Inside the class, remember, there will be some kids who will not talk to you. They will be shy, they will be scared, they will be ashamed to ask you questions. Move through the circle of those kids who are bright and go and touch the kids who find things difficult. 10th standard exams, whether it's ICSE, SSC or CBSE, is a promotional exam. Does not really help in checking abilities of the child. You can't tap all the talents of the child in the 10th standard. Most of them are hidden and they might manifest if the child is confident. What happens between you and the child is that you restore the confidence given by God. You make him or her feel that everything is possible. You hold his or her hand when there is trouble. Sometimes kids might be very quiet. They might lose interest in studies. They might just not read for many days. Sit down on a chair with them without a table in between. Let them ramble across what they want to share. Most of the times kids share when they talk to you about other things. When they talk to you about movies, they slowly come up with the difficult emotions. When they talk to you about songs, they slowly come up with the difficult emotions. When they talk to you about sports, slowly they open. When they talk to you about sports, they are able to slowly open their minds and hearts and share their pain. And then you can repair their hearts. A child who has thrown his books away and is sleeping continuously may need your home visit. Many teachers are scared to make a home visit and sometimes principals don't allow them to do it. It's good to make a home visit. It's good sometimes for the masjid to go to the Muhammad. it's good sometimes to reach out, because when you get into the den of the child, he might be surprised, shocked, and pleasantly delighted, and everything inside his mind might be placed in front of you on the table, and things get resolved at the earliest. There are different types of kids in the class. Some of them who study every day, they need a pat on the back for what they do. Some of them might study for a few days, take a break for a few days, and somehow they manage. Others might study only when the exam dates are approaching. Many more study when you put a gun on their head, and there are others who don't study even with all your attempts. So in such cases, it's not the advisory that works, do this, do that. In such cases, what works is a walk with the child around the school campus, helping him to help you in taking the books to the teacher's room. And in that walk, in that small interaction, the child feels to tell you what's troubling him. And when you're able to really see that, things change. All the same, you guys also work very hard in your families, with your husband, with your children, sleep less, work more, eat late. So if you have to take care of your kids during the 10th, you need to take care of yourself. Sometimes some kids are very restless. They jump like monkeys. The attention span is very poor. They are good when they utter things orally, but they don't put all the matter on the paper. Don't try to say that the monkeys, they are restless. Immediately refer them to a psychiatrist or a psychologist and see that this inattention, this hyperactivity is treated. If you treat this hyperactivity immediately, attention improves, memory improves, and the child is able to reproduce. What happens to the child when he does not remember or he gets low marks is his confidence is shattered. Some parents come and ask you, what's wrong with the child? Look at his answer paper. The answer paper is much powerful than the astrologer's kundali, the horoscope. In the answer paper, if you see carefully, you will be able to understand whether the child has understood the concept, the child has inattention, the child is emotionally disturbed, the child is disinterested, the child has rejected studies completely. Pick those kids who have rejected the studies completely. Sit down with them in the library, make them come to the school, and your pat on the back, as I have always said, is a million times more powerful than the pat on the back of the parents. A kid who is completely down, give them one-word answers, fill in the blanks, one-line answers, and as he or she is able to feel that he or she can actually learn and remember, they might really bounce back in this month and do well, much more than what they expected themselves to be doing. And teachers, don't tell the toppers, you are our shan, you are our stars, we expect you to get a rank. Don't tell them at all. The toppers' anxiety is also very difficult to manage. Tell them enjoy the exams. Talk like Dhoni, who always says enjoy your studies. When you enjoy your studies, you do very well. Sometimes you might not be able to tackle everything what the child is suffering. Knock at the door of the counselor. Don't look at the counselor as somebody who is in her early 20s. Age doesn't matter. The counselor is qualified and would be able to understand sprain of the mind or fracture of the mind and other difficulties much better than a teacher. So take help. Work alongside with a counselor and help the child as a team. Visit the child's families in spite of the fact that the school principals don't allow, because your loyalty is not to the school, your loyalty is to the child. And if you believe that visit might make much difference, do it. Be available and accessible around the time of exams. let your phone numbers be available with all children. Tell your husband or your spouse to chill and relax, because if you pick up the phone call of a child in distress during an exam, you might save a life. You might spur him to study, you might spur him to do well. In spite of doing everything, if you find a child quiet or irritable, sleeping less or sleeping more, eating less or eating more, has lost interest in studies, talks about death or dying, talks about running away from the home, feels hopeless, feels worthless, rush to a friendly neighborhood psychologist or a psychiatrist. Congratulations teachers for doing all the good work. Indian students are doing extremely well all over the world. So there's something you guys do in the schools that makes them resilient, that makes them hardworking, and that makes them actually bright. Congratulations and all the best for your life.